Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. We've got a dual perspective video for you today. This one, it features BassmanFromHell. He's in the Manticore, and the other player is Ironman7789 in the Object 430U. So two tier 10 vehicles. Let's see how they get on. Well, I think you just saw Bassman disappearing into the distance. He's going actually straight down the centre in his tier 10 British light tank, the Manticore, whilst Ironman is off to the west, or no, sorry, the east side of the map in the Object 430U, which is widely regarded as the best medium tank in the game. Well, at least a lot of people think so, because it's Soviet, it's damn good, and it acts like a heavy tank even though it's actually a medium. Now, he's got a standard, well, it's not a standard gun at all, it's a 122mm 440 Alpha 252mm penetration with standard rounds, and with the premium 8 heat rounds it'll do 340. So it's got decent pen on that 122mm gun, and a nice Alpha as well. Now we're starting off our dual perspective following Ironman. And he's actually asked for the help from these two heavy tanks that are just basically sitting behind. They're following him, the Cranvan and the T95 FE4001 Chieftain. And it looks like Ironman wants to kind of push the enemy here, because it looks like the enemy hasn't come down the east side, but they have gone up the other side, because we can see the enemy tanks there. So I think Ironman's idea is to actually get up onto this hill and try and get eyes on the enemy, shoot at them from a distance. Now this tank doesn't have great gun depression, it's only got 5 degrees of gun depression, and you're trying to shoot over a rise like this, which makes it kind of difficult. He was seen, I think it might have been that Object 140 who saw him as well, but there's a Leopard down there as well. So two Cub mediums facing us at the moment. FE4005 spotted in the enemy rear. Oh, and it looks like Bassman just got the early kill on that guy. Took out their Heshbon. He's trying to get a shot at the 140. Fails to get it in. He's firing standard AP at the moment. I just bounced around from a Leopard, and oh, took a round from the 140 instead. Yeah. And in fact, actually, it was a heat round. You can see that because there's purple marks on top of the roof. That's a heat round in these, but this version of the mods. Okay, 140 pokes out, ricochets around off his front plate, but we were spotted, so he's falling back. In fact, I don't know if you saw it earlier, but he was being blocked by the 140 when he tried to pull back, and that's when he took the round from the 140, and yeah, I think he just blocked that 140 in return when he tried to pull back and took a round instead for himself. I don't think he meant it in any harm to the 140. He was just basically reminding him, you know, don't bunch up on your teammates, because then you can make it very difficult for them to pull back when they need to. Okay, he's loaded an AP round now. You can see Bassman's in the centre, and I think Bassman's just spotted something and communicated it to Ironman to get back to the cap, because everybody on the west side of the map has fallen, so they've got to get back as quickly as they can. Bassman's doing his best to retreat right down the centre. The Batchat 155-58 on our team is making a beeline for the east side of the map. He's got into cover, but now it looks it's going to be Bassman in his Manticore and Ironman in his Object 430U are going to have to try and defend the cap against all comers on the enemy team. So there's an awful lot of heavy tanks on the enemy team, and they're all coming in this way. Okay, so he's gone up this rise. I think he's going to use this rock and the bushes to get shots on the enemy. There's Bassman moving his Manticore through. He's got the special Manticore with the television camera on it. Oh, that was he just aimed that too far ahead to actually hit the Cranvan. There goes that's the Bassman with his little television camera up. Okay, he's making his nest. At the moment, Iron Man, it's important to actually make sure that the enemy can't get any shots on him. So he's knocking all the trees down to give him plenty of cover, because they're going to be pinpricking these enemies as much as they can. Nice shot! Got a hit into the Object 140. Bassman did as well with his 105mm. Okay, hanging on the side of this ridge here is actually very effective, because you've only got to pop up when you need to. And the Cramphon tried to nail Bassman with 2 shots and failed. And he had 3 shots in his magazine. And the Bassman pops up again just like that. And now he's got the ability to shoot the enemy. Okay, you can see the enemy is T95FE4201. He's just in the dip. Got an Object 140 moving up, but he's very low on hit points. I think that might be the very same 140 that hit us earlier in the battle. And now the Chieftain's just presenting the top of his turret, and it's very difficult to penetrate those tanks. But he did get hit by Arty. Oh, look at that! Iron Man just plonked around straight through the turret of that Chieftain. And he's now sliding his way up this ridgeline. For a tank with no gun depression, he's certainly doing rather well with this one. Okay, FE4201's moved a little further away, but he's only presenting just the top of his turret now, makes it difficult. Plonks around into the Viz 55. He got a nice 423 off that one, which is a low roll though. Okay, just you can see that basically all that's poking up is the gun barrel, and I don't think the enemy can really see it once it's gone unspotted. That Object 140 is actually pulling away. It looks like he's going towards the gully in the centre of the map. And although the enemy is ahead of us at the moment by 1 tank, it looks like they've come to a complete halt on trying to seize our cap area. Viz 55 pokes his head up. He's looking for a spot that he can pen him on. Could get him on the cupola. He's loaded a heat round instead, looking for the spot he can get. Decides not to shoot, save his ammo. The Chieftain just died to our Leopard. So waiting for the enemy to pop up so we can plonk around through him. Bassman sitting alongside us, his 105mm gun swiveling from side to side, trying to find a decent target he can shoot at. That Cramphon's still at the back of the our cap area, up on the ridgeline at the top. And I suspect he can't find anyone to shoot either at the moment, because even though he's behind the bushes, there's not much he can see. Because it's such a good spot, this. Just having a quick check all round. Pulling back just a little to look and give a good 3D perspective of what's going on the battlefield. Bassman's getting itchy pants. It looks like he wants to get out there and find the enemy. I think actually at the moment, Iron Man's got it covered. And looks like Bassman's going to go away and hunt the enemy. Oh, careful! Oh, lost 47 hit points there. Went over the ridgeline and hit the bottom a bit too hard. The Manticore's only a light tank. You have to remember that if you go over bumps too hard, you might actually do some damage. Well, he's knocked down the last remaining tree out of that bunch, but the enemy still hasn't been able to work out where he is. And there's that 140, the one he hit earlier, and he just died to RK91. So now we're 3 tanks ahead of the enemy. We were 1 behind, now we're ahead. It looks like our guys kept and held the east side of the map. And although the enemy did go north, they've now decided to retreat because they're in a bit of danger. And you can see Bassman is moving along that little ridgeline. He's spotting the Cramphon as he's going. There's the 277 way over the other side. And Iron Man's decided now it's time to move up. The Cramphon's interested and he's watching. He's seeing the Bassman in his Manticore. And he's focusing on Bassman, I think, at the moment. But Iron Man's in cover, and there you see Bassman just hit him for 379. He's stunned. Arty must have got a hit, and now he's moving in for the kill. Can he get a shot? Oh, the kill shot went to our Chieftain, and now we're after the Object 277. And parallel to us at the moment, Bassman in his Manticore's moving in. He's stopped just suddenly. I think that might be the 277's looking. But Iron Man's going in. He's no fear here. He's just going to drive straight in, shoot the 277. Oh, he tracked him, but he didn't kill him. Ouch. He took a big hit from the 277, but the 277 dies the next second to the Leopard. So there's only 4 left on the enemy team now. They've only got an IS-4, 2 Super Conquerors and 1 Leopard 1. And we well outnumber the enemy now by 5 tanks. So he's just heading south. And now they're down to just 3. 6 tanks up on the enemy now. There's the Leopard. Oh, he just got hit by the IS-4. He blasts one back. He should have dived into cover there. Unfortunately, he's carried on driving, which means he's going to take another round from that IS-4. Ouch. That hurts. So, yeah, he's taken another round from the IS-4. He's not a one-shot, but he's close. He needs to be careful now. If that guy gets a high roll, he could die. Well, plonks one into the IS-4, and he gets hit again in return. Going in for the kill. Can he get one? Well, not kill actually, but he's going to shot one into the side. He fires one into the side. Ouch. The IS-4 hits us back. But that was the end of the game. And yeah, the baseman was only a short distance away at the end there when Iron Man died. And here's the battle from the perspective of the baseman from hell in his Manticore. Game started. Well, I think you can see that quaint little television camera mounted on a stalk on the side of the vehicle. I think that was a modern development of the Manticore, and it may have been something that came out in Battle Pass. I don't know, because I never played Battle Pass when the Manticore was in the list. Anyway, he's going straight down the gully at the centre of the map to get early spots on the enemy, and he's found one already. It's the Heshbon and the IS-4. Heshbon takes an immediate hit. Baseman fires one in and he gets a hit as well, 452. Now it's a 105mm gun capable of 390 alpha, so he definitely got a high roll there. 248mm of penetration with standard rounds, and with the premium rounds he'll do 268. Fired another one off at the Heshbon. Looking at the enemy Manticore hiding behind the rock. Not going to help that guy because he's got spotted, and now Baseman can put a round in his rear. He's turning to try and avoid getting spotted, but it's no good because Baseman can see him plain as day. And now Baseman puts a round in him. And he goes. And he's dead. Okay, so the enemy's lost one of their tanks already. There's a Super Conqueror down there, a Leopard. We've still got that Heshbon as well. Okay, where are you? This is a light tank, so it's very difficult to spot for the enemy. And it looks like Baseman's decided to move up a bit, because in his current position, or where it was, he might have been vulnerable to being spotted by the enemy team over in the southwest corner of the map. There's an awful lot of them over there, and this position is very good because it's close to the enemy and it's surrounded by rocks and bushes. So you can now see the Object 140. These guys are taking fire, and I think they're taking fire from Iron Man and his team over in the corner. And there's the Heshbon, and he's very badly damaged. And he's now out the game. Beautiful shot. Oh, tries to get into cover quickly. He's just going to sit behind the rock until he goes unspotted, and then he'll pop up into cover again. I think he can also see those enemy tanks moving up on the west side of the map. Puts a round into the Leopard for 384. He was spotted. Low roll though. The Leopard's not happy, but it looks like he's headed over to the west side of the map as well. Maybe he's thinking that he can push on that side. Baseman's positioning himself so he can disappear if he needs to. So he's rear end towards the enemy. It's such a flat tank, the Manticore, as you know, otherwise called the Chimera, actually. And he plonks around into the Leopard as well. He's being very aggressive with these enemy tanks. Yep, it was originally called the Chimera in 1955, but as Wargaming had already put a tank into the game under the name Chimera, they couldn't put this tank in under its original name. So they just called it the Manticore and made up a name for it instead. Okay, all of the enemy tanks have now broken through on the west side of the map, and he can see that, so he's decided, yeah, I need to get the hell out of here quick, back to the cap area. You can see that weird radio aerial on top of the vehicle as well. I think those are infrared lights to enable the tank to actually see in the darkness. And I think that might be an infrared camera as well to enable him to actually spot the enemy. He's just seen that enemy chieftain, T95 FD4201, go behind the rocks around there. Now I think he's going to try and cross the railway line. And the baseman's decided, yeah, it's probably not a good idea to stay near the cap. Better to go behind the cap, or at least a little way off. Yeah, he thought about going up behind the railway line, but that is a bit of a mistake anyway. So he's now headed across the front of the cap area, which enables the Leopard 1 and of course Iron Man to get shots on the enemy. He's found the 140. That's the same 140 that fired at Iron Man earlier in the game. And he's going to join, yep, he's joined Iron Man in his Object 430U. You saw him dive into those bushes. He came up the top of that bank and did a sort of sidestep right in front of Iron Man. But they've both gone into good positions now, which means they can, if they need to hide, they just need to drive behind the rock, and it gives them plenty of cover. So it's a good position, a good fighting position to snipe at the enemy as they come into sight. Good shot, 438, high roll, and Iron Man got a hit as well for 364. Ooh, ow, that hurt. Yep, the Viz-55 just fired around him for 507. APCR as well, and that would just carve straight through the armour. The best armour the Manticore has is on the front of the turret. It's only 18mm. Front of the hull is only 50mm. So it's a bit overkill to use APCR. Yeah, the Object 140 repositioning, trying to move up. And that chieftain, he's trying to get as far along the railway line as he can, but he can't come out of that spot, because if he does, he's going to get hit. And in fact, he's just got splattered by Arty, and Iron Man just put a round into him as well. So he's kind of been told, yeah, I'm afraid you're not wanted over here anymore. Go away. Viz-55 comes up. That's the guy who hit him earlier. He didn't shoot because he was showing on the penetration indicator that there was no viable shot. And you know how limited the ammo is on the Manticore. Oh yes, he got that one in. Both of them did. The Object 1, the Iron Man in his 430 managed to get around in. So did Iron Man. Now he slipped off the hill. He needs to get back onto it without getting shot at in the process. That's a bit steep, but he does it very neatly without exposing himself too long to the enemy. Okay, that chieftain's in a bit of a dicey spot. There's the Viz. He's trying to get revenge. He's popping his turret up, but then puts it back down. We're loading APCR for that Viz-55. I'm pretty sure that Baseman wants to put a round through his turret, finish him off, or at least get it through his cupola. There goes the chieftain. That was the Leopard 1 putting one in. And now the scores are even. Just that Cranvan up on top of the hill. We can't see him at the moment. You can see the chieftain. He's actually, or the Leopard rather, on our team. He's just off to the left there on that ridgeline. That's where he's been firing from. 12.57 seconds is the reload time. Baseman's, the book reload is 13.42. So he's managed to drop it by a second to help him get those reloads in. But you remember the bad thing about the Manticore is you only get 20 rounds to play with. It's not really enough. Not for a game like this. Okay, the enemy kind of disappeared. And this is where Baseman went off down the cliff. Oh! You know, that hurt. Yeah, 47 hit points lost when he dropped off the edge of that ridgeline. It's not a very strong tank, this one. It's very flat, as I say, but you go over a ridge like that and you will suffer damage because it's quite a drop for a small vehicle. Oh, he got spotted. Somebody saw him. Ow! The Super Conqueror saw him and he just got spotting assist off that as well on the Object 140. So yeah, that was expensive. He lost 361 to the Super Conk, who again fired a premium round. You don't need to fire a premium round at a Manticore. Now he's skirting along the edge here. Pops up to have a quick look at that cram bomb. He could probably penetrate him right now. Oh, he fired behind the turret and it didn't pen. But the Arty got a hit on him. Can he get enough shots into that guy? It looks like his turret's pointing away from us or to one side. Yeah, he gets it this time. 379 low roll. Iron Man goes in for the kill. Oh, that was our chieftain getting a shot in. And now we're going after that 277. Iron Man's dashing along the railway line as we're moving from spot to spot. The reason he stopped is because he didn't want the 277 to see him. He is trying to distract that 277 to a certain extent, but he doesn't want the 277 to put a hole in him. And that's why he's done a quick about turn, slid to a halt. And now Iron Man's going in for the kill, and he doesn't get it because the Leopard 1 does instead. Only 4 enemy vehicles now. He's on the inside of the field, and oh, there's 2 of them in sight, including that Super Conk that hit him earlier. The Super Conk is actually ignoring us. He's going after our Object 140 and our Centurion Action 10. And Bassman's now decided to cut straight across the field and deal with these enemy tanks. He's trying to decide which one he goes to. He's spotted the Leopard. Accurate shot. Good hit. 384 low roll again, but he got an accurate shot and he wasn't spotted. Okay, he's letting the reload go in. Now, can he get close to this Leopard? He might be able to get him with a snapshot if he can. Oh, the Leopard's down. It just now, it's the IS-4. That's the last one. Iron Man's gone in for the kill, but here comes the Leopard. Trying to get a shot. And the kill shot goes to the Leopard 1. But sadly, Iron Man died out of that one. But it is a victory. Here's the end of battle stats, and it's always interesting seeing battles like this where you get a dual perspective from 2 different persons' point of view. In this game, Ironman7789 in the Object 430U managed to get a 3rd class tanker. He also managed to get a 5 for effect for doing more damage than hit points to his own vehicle, a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits in this one. He managed to get 6. And he also got a Confederate medal for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. At least 6 tanks subsequently taken out by other teammates. And his win rate from the battle was 1,447, which is very good. And if we look at the details, the team score, well, we can see that he didn't get the highest damage in the game. In fact, he was a bit mid-table. The highest damage was, in fact, that Leopard 1. Yes, he was very effective. Got a Confederate and 4,349 hit points. The second highest damage, the 705A on our team, 4,060 hit points. And the third highest damage in the entire game was the BassmanFromHell and his Manticore, 3,586 hit points. He picked up a patrol duty and tank sniper as well. And when it came to kills, well, it's actually shared between the Leopard 1 and the Batchat 155-58. Yes, our Arty was doing a good job. Even though he didn't get a huge amount of damage, he did splash kill or get kills on the enemy tanks, 3 of them, and the Leopard got 3 as well. 2 kills went to the Chieftain and to the Centurion Action 10, and the only player on the enemy team who managed to get more than 1 kill, and that was their Super Conqueror, who got 2 in that one. And when it came to base XP, we can see that, yes, it was Bassman. He was getting the spotting. He managed to get 1,140 base, the only player to get over 1,000. 974 went to the Leopard 1. 860 went to the Super Conqueror on our team. And the next highest, the 4th highest, was Ironman7789 with 810. So a decent game by him as well. 15 shots fired by the Iron Man. He got 9 direct hits on the enemy, 5 penetrations. Damage of 2,209, of which 482 were at more than 300 meters. 7 hits received from the enemy, 6 penetrations, 1 non-penetration, and 420 hit points of damage blocked by armor. I'm afraid the penetration shots were mostly that IS-4 towards the end of the game. He got 2 as he was driving towards the rock. The third one came right before... well, in fact, actually, yes, I think he did actually get hit by that guy when he went round the corner to get to the rock, and he got hit once more just before he died. So he must have taken 2 shots from other people elsewhere during the game. I think one of those was the Object 140. Can't remember who the other one was, but anyway, so he did take a lot of damage. 420 blocked by armor, so one of the shots he hit him was blocked. He also spotted 1 enemy vehicle, damaged 6 of the enemy, didn't get any kills, but he got 701 hit points of damage assistance. On a premium count, he earned 41,064 credits from the game, 20,532 from personal reserves, 61,596 altogether, and after repair and ammunition resupply, and yes, he did use some premium ammo, he actually did end up with a loss for the game of 5,606 credits. He did get 5 bombs because it was a tier 10 game, and 1,215 XP, 608 for this being a for mission completions, 1,215 from personal reserves, took away 3,038 experience points altogether. So that's for the results for the Ironman7789. It's a pity that he didn't get those kills that he wanted. The 277, he shot him in the side, but then the guy just turned his turret. He must have hit the tracks. I think that's the only thing I can think of. He hit the tracks. The 277 thought, what do you think you're doing? Turned his turret round and plunked around right into Iron Man. So he lost a huge amount of hit points there. But it's then the subsequent 2 shots from, or 3 shots actually, or was it more, from the... yes, because that must have been the other tank that hit him, as well as the 140. It must have been the 277. So it was the other 4 shots from the IS-4 which crippled him in the end, because I would have dived into the cover while I was trying to drive up on the IS-4, and that might have given me the chance to go round those rocks to get close to him before he could shoot me again. But yes, once he was seen, he decided to stay with it, and that's why he got hit again. Anyway, let's have a look at the results for the Bassman from Hell. Well, here's his results, and he got a first-class tanker in the Manticore in that game. He got a spotter badge for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage, a fire for effect for doing more damage than hit points to his own vehicle, a patrol duty for spotting at least 6 enemy tanks and being the only one spotting them when they were damaged, as well as a tanker sniper for doing the most damage at a distance of at least 300 meters. And his win rate in that battle was 5,118, which is Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at the team score. I think we've seen this actually before, and was the Bassman who actually ended up with the highest base XP in the end, and he did pick up the 3rd highest damage in the battle with 3,586. We look at detail for Bassman. He fired 13 shots, 12 direct hits on the enemy, but only 10 of them actually penetrated. So 3 shots that didn't, or 1 shot that missed altogether, and 2 shots that didn't pen. That's pretty good for a 105mm gun. 3,586 hit points of damage, of which 1,688 were at more than 300 meters. He received 2 hits from the enemy, both of them penetrated, yet it's very light armor. And I think if you remember, in both cases, the tanks that actually fired at him and penetrated him were firing APCR, which is a bit of a waste, really, if you think about it. 6 enemy vehicles were spotted, 6 enemy vehicles were damaged, and 1 was killed. 5,068 hit points of damage assistance. He earned 74,064 credits from the game, and after repair, ammunition, resupply and consumables, he made a profit of 10,111 credits. 1,710 XP, and the same again from the total, so he didn't earn anything else. It wasn't his first battle of the day, but a very good game nonetheless. 8.6 combined, 5,000 from the actual spotting, 3,000, well, it was actually, yes, it was 3,586 damage, so combined it's a good game. 8.6 any time like that, that's a good battle. So a decent score, a decent amount of damage, nice spotting, and that's what put him so high on XP. So, a nice dual perspective. You get to see it from two different points of view, from a medium tank point of view and from a light tank. And congratulations to Bassman for getting another high score. He obviously loves the Manticore. And we've got more Manticore battles to come as well. He's not the only one who's been playing it. Quite a few other people are playing the Manticore at the moment, and they're getting rather good. And it does take skill to play this tank, simply because it's so short of ammo, so short of armour, and it's difficult to play. Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed those replays. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And of course, please let other people know that this channel exists and that we've got great replays. Not just Arty, we do feature tanks as well, as we've shown in this video, and we usually get some quite good tank battles as that. Thanks for watching.